Yes. So this is the first class of the CSAT foundation course. Okay. Now, before starting this course, there were certain points that I wanted to highlight. Okay, that we will discuss, and then we'll directly get into the topic at hand, that is number system. Okay. So the first and the foremost thing that I wanted to discuss regarding this course is, yes, it's a personalized course, right? So definitely it is the class will also be personalized. The number of students are also very limited. Okay. So all those students who have enrolled, you have paid money for this course. Okay. So please ensure that you understand each and every concept that has been taught in the class. Okay. So if at any point of time, especially in the number system class, at any point of time, if you do not understand any one concept, you can ask me to stop the class right then and there. Okay. Yeah, it does not matter how many students are there. If other students are getting it, it does not matter. You are here to learn, and you should ensure that you actually learn the concept. Okay, so that is why the batch size is also very less for the foundation course. Okay, so it will be maximum, it will be 10 to 15 students. So that is the reason. At any point of the course, the next 7 months, any doubt you have at any point, you can ask me. Okay, you can ask me to repeat the topic 2 or 3 times. Do not wait for the class to end and then ask, because most likely, if you do not understand a topic in the number system, more or less the next topic, the next concept you will not understand. Okay, so you have to clarify with each and every stance. Fine. The second thing I told you regarding the class itself, you should have a separate notebook which tells you the logic that has been used in questions. Okay. So for number system, you should concise it into 10-15 pages finally. That is all the concepts that are associated with it. Okay. So one notebook will be on the practice notebook that you will have properly. The second one is for fast revision. Okay. So you should have a logic book also, and it should be having concise notes. Okay. Now, the third aspect is alternative ways to find solution. This is something that is highly encouraged in this course because it's a CSAT program, it's an aptitude problem. There is no one way to get to the right answer. There could be multiple ways. Okay, so if you do find such a way to arrive at the answer, you can definitely mention the same. Okay, it might be helpful for other students also. Okay, so that is the reason we do encourage alternative ways to find solution also, but definitely it should be based on sound logic. Okay, if the logic is wrong, definitely you will not get the right answer. Okay, so alternative ways you should always seek, whichever is the faster way to help you in getting the answer. Okay, fourth one is pattern recognition. This should be something that you should be very clearly looking out for. Okay, based on the UPSC previous year questions, seek out patterns. Okay, especially even in number system, there are definite 10-12 questions that are repeatedly asked from certain topics. You need to seek those patterns. I will discuss those patterns, and you need to practice similar problems in your homes also. If you do not do it, you might recognize the pattern also, but it will not give you an edge over other students. Okay, so pattern recognition is the key. You need to understand that aspect. Okay, what do we mean by it? In the first class, after the first class, we will, in this class itself, we will see one pattern. Okay, now the second last is you have to write the test. All the students who have joined the CSAT foundation course, you have to write the sectional as well as full length test that will be given from time to time. Okay, now without writing the test, I will not allow you into the test discussion class. Simple. Okay, there is no negotiation there. I'll upload the test. I will tell you in the Telegram group that yes, I will give you ample amount of time. 1 week I'll give it to you. In 1 week you can write the test any point of time. But for you to attend the test discussion class, you need to write the test. Even if you're getting low marks, it does not matter. You get negative marks, I don't care. But you need to attempt the test. Okay, If you get low marks, I will not say anything. Okay. But I want you to attempt the test because it takes great effort to create such questions. And just seeing the test discussion will not suffice. You need to give the questions in the exam pattern. Okay. Now, the time management, the last aspect is time management that you will learn while you write the test. Okay, so this is the most important ground rule that you should focus upon. Okay, the next one is the personalized class. Any doubt you have at any point of time, you can stop me right there and then. Okay, there might be times that I may not be able to convey properly. Okay, so then again, you can ask me to repeat the concept once again. There is no issue regarding the same. Okay, you can ask me 5, 10 times, no problem. Okay. Now, the next aspect is what do I expect from you? The first and the foremost thing is attend live classes generally because most of the I understand that most some students have professional background, they may not be able to do so, but from your side the maximum number of live classes that you attend, that would be much beneficial because especially it is aptitude portion. It is good that you try to write the answer, see the logic of other students also. Okay, so that is the reason, that is something that I expect. Okay, otherwise students generally have a tendency of getting the recorded sessions. Once they get into the habit of the same, after 2 or 3 recorded sessions, it just piles up. Okay, that is not a good sign. Okay, so especially for the number system classes, I would like you to attend live classes. Okay, the second is the class has to be interactive. It is an online platform. Definitely, if you do not interact, even if you give wrong answers, it does not matter. Yeah, the students who have enrolled in the program, all of you should clear CSAT. Okay, for that, the class has to be interactive and your logic should also come through. Okay. The next one is attempt questions from the books after a topic has been cleared. I would request you to attempt questions from aptitude books. Okay. Be it Arihant, you can choose anything from the market, but you need to attempt such questions. Then only you will clearly see the pattern and how to solve such questions in a faster time frame. Okay. Next is clear doubts right in the class itself. Do not keep it for the last. You will not understand if one slide you're not understanding, the next one is the consequence of it. Okay, so then definitely you will not be able to understand second or third slides. Okay, so right then and there you can stop me, you can ask me 10, 15 times, I will repeat it again and again. Okay, now revise the content before the next class because again I told you number system is a continuation. The next 15, 20 classes is a continuation of topics. Okay, so you need to revise the content that has already been discussed in the class. Okay, and the last is, this is the most important aspect, that is you need to create concise notes. Okay, if you do not create concise note, it will not be of help. You will not be able to revise it faster. CSAT. Okay. At the end of the day, you should be able to get the necessary marks that you have enrolled the program for. Fine. So this is what you can expect from the course and what do I expect from you. Okay. Now, after all of this, now we go to the proper content itself. Okay. Now, any doubt here? I hope this is very clear. Okay. Whatever we have discussed, the most important aspect is I want you to write the test. If you do not write the test, I will not allow you in the test discussion class. Simple. Okay. You can request, you did not get the time. There could be many excuses, but I will not do so. I will not enroll. Fine. So if you want to attend the test discussion, you have to write the test. You have to face that aspect. Fine. All right, so now we come to the number system, the first topic. So we discussed this aspect, right? We discussed prime number, we discussed composite number and natural number in the demo class itself, right? So what was prime number? Basically, what was prime number? We discussed something regarding prime number. It is any number which is divisible by 1 and itself. Yes, only two factors. No, not only two factors. Yeah, it is 1 and itself. Okay, so that's a prime number. There are certain properties that we discussed. What were those? Where we discussed prime numbers, it is what? Prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, right? So there are certain properties that we discussed regarding prime number through questions. What is this aspect? That is, 2 is considered to be an even prime number. Okay, and it is the only even prime number, right? The rest are all odd prime numbers. This is something that we discussed clearly, right? We discussed also one aspect of it saw, that is the multiplication of odd and even, the multiplication of even and even, the multiplication of odd and odd. Yes, we discussed this aspect also, that is odd into even is what? It is even itself. Okay, it is even. Even into even is even, odd into odd is odd. Okay, so this we discussed. I hope you remember this concepts we discussed in the demo class, right? Now, what was composite number? What was composite number? We discussed this also. Yes, that is more than two factors, right? So you have 4, 6, 9, right? So these are all such numbers which will have more than two factors. They are considered as composite numbers, right? Then you have natural numbers. This also we discussed. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth, right? And we discussed whole numbers. So see, whole numbers we did not discuss. This is nothing but what? Whole numbers are 0 and all the rest of natural numbers. Okay, so this is considered as whole numbers. Okay, so if it is said P is a whole number, that means P could take values of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. Okay, so whenever we talk about whole numbers, we talk about also 0 as a possibility. Okay. Finally, what is an integer? Integer is all the negative numbers that are there, -3, -2, -1, 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Okay. So these are considered to be integers. Okay. So again, I'm repeating, what is a prime number? Any number which is divisible by 1 and itself. Composite number, it has more than two factors. Natural number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whole numbers is if you add 0 to natural number, that is whole numbers. Okay, set of whole numbers. And integer is basically a summation of negative integers, positive integers, and 0. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now, if this concept is clear, this forms the basis of the number system. Only we are starting with 4 or 5 keywords. Okay. Now we go to the questions at hand. Okay. So we discussed 2 or 3 questions in the previous classes, right? Now we are discussing the actual concepts that you can expect in the UPSC. Okay. So here there are two statements given, directly statements have been given. First says if P is the product of 5 consecutive prime numbers, then P can be odd, can be an odd number. Okay. Second statement says if Q is the sum of 5 consecutive natural numbers, then Q is a multiple of 3. Okay. So two statements given. Now, based on what you have just learned, we have learned prime numbers, we have learned natural numbers. So try solving this one. Which statements do you think are correct? Is are correct. Okay. So try this one. Only one. Okay, Vicky, fine. What about others? Raghavan, fine. Okay. Shivaranjani, fine. Somashekar, 1, fine. Adira, fine. What about others? Jyotsna, Sagar, Pramada. 1, 0. ठीक है. Okay. So here, yes, here we have what? The first statement is P is the product of 5 consecutive prime numbers. Okay, so 5 consecutive prime numbers. So P can be an odd number. Now here, see, the basic concept here is what? Can be and is. Right? What is the difference here? The difference is of possibility and yes, definite statements. Okay, so possibility is can be. Okay, that is even if one of those values is true, then that condition is correct. Okay, whereas when we talk about definite, whenever we talk about definite statement, it means what? It means always the value has to be. Okay, when we talk about definite statements, so if it is P must be an odd number, definitely that is for all values of P, it should be odd number. Okay, so here it is a possibility statement. Here it is definite. Okay, so definite statement is a or must be. Okay, these are the keywords that are there. Okay, so now P is a product of 5 consecutive prime numbers. So we clearly know. Okay, we know P is could be what? It could be odd or even. Okay, now here, why is it not even? Because it is just clearly saying it is only 5 consecutive prime numbers. Okay, it is not mentioning anything about the first 5 prime numbers. I hope this is clear. Okay, now what if this was first 5 prime numbers? What would be the change here? If P is the product of first 5 prime numbers, then P can be an odd number. What would be what do you think that statement would be? True or false? Yes, it would be clearly false, right? So why it is false? Because we have seen the concept in the previous class, that is when 2 is there. Shivranjani, true. Okay. Shivranjani, see, we are talking about what? The product of first 5 prime numbers. Okay, first 5 prime numbers is what? 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Okay, so when we are talking about the product, this makes it what? 2 into the multiplication of all of this. This is odd. Okay, and 2 into odd is what? It's considered to be even. Okay, so then if it is given P can be an odd number, that would be what? A false statement. Sure, Anjali, is that clear? Okay, we are talking about first 5. Okay, I've just changed the question a bit. Is that clear, Shivaranjani? What we have done? Yes. Okay. Now coming back to the question at hand. Okay. Yeah. So now we have the original question. Yes. That is product of 5 consecutive prime numbers. So we do not know where that starts from. Okay. So P can be having numbers from, yeah, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11, or it could also be any other pattern, 5, 7, 11, 13, and finally what? 17. Okay, so definitely in one of the scenarios, if it is leading to an odd prime number, if it is leading to an odd number, definitely that is the statement is correct, because P can be is asked. Okay, it is not must be. Okay, so here when you multiply all this will come out to be even. Here it is odd. Okay, so in any one of the cases, if it is odd, the statement holds true. Okay. Similarly, here also the same concept you will apply, because here it is Q is a multiple of 3. Okay, so Q is a multiple of 3. So definitely what you will focus upon is what? In not all cases. Okay, so in certain cases, Q might not be a multiple of 3. Okay, so that is the reason this statement is wrong, and this is the correct statement. Fine. Now, if this is clear, try another question now. Okay. Here you have, consider the following statements where P is a whole number and Q is an Q is a negative integer. So 4 statements have been given. You have to find out which statements out of this is correct. Okay. So try this one. One and three are true for statement. Okay. Yeah, that is something that we should. Yeah, Pramada, we'll see about the fourth. 1, 3, 4. True. Okay. Okay. One and three. Okay. Okay. So we have 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What about others? There are 1, 2, 3. Okay. So everyone is getting different answers. Okay. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. Okay. Fine. Somashekar 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1 and 3. Fine. Okay, so let's see here. So P plus Q it is given, right? So here it is given. P is a set of whole numbers. It can be P is a whole number, and you have Q, which is a negative integer, right? So here you have P plus Q can be a positive number, right? So can you have any such numbers? Give me some examples. Can be is a possibility. So if you can find out any such values of P and Q. Voice. Is my voice audible to everyone? Yes, right. Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So let us see here. Okay. So here you have what? You have P plus Q, right? Now P is, as Somashekar is saying, yes, it is 2. Whole number. Is it a whole number? Fine. Okay. And Q is -1. Okay. Okay. So it is a positive number. Fine. So this makes sense. Okay. Now what about the second statement? P minus Q must be positive number. Okay. Now here you have something which is saying must be. That means if you are negating the statement, you should find such values of P and Q in which you are getting a negative number, right? That is P minus Q should be negative. So if you have negated the statement, what are those values of P and Q? You tell me. That is for what values of P and Q will you find that it turns out to be a negative number? That is P minus Q turns out to be a negative number. Okay. Then only you can negate the second statement, because second statement says P minus Q must be a positive number. That means for all values of P and Q, P minus Q must be positive. Okay, so how do you negate this statement? Just the opposite one. You have to show any one value of P and Q. Okay. So the students who have said 1 and 3, tell me what was that value of P and Q that you got for which P minus Q turned out to be negative. You, 1, 3, 4, who said? Vicky, Raghavan, Pramada. You can say. Got confused. Okay. So here it is, the statement is what? The statement is true actually. Okay, the statement is actually true. The reason is what? Again, see here, P minus Q. Okay. P can have values of what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means it can start from 0 and it will go till what? It will go till all the positive values that are there. It will have P. Okay, 0 or positive values. Whereas Q will be what? It's a negative integer. Okay, so here there is minus and a minus integer will be there. The number here will be negative. Okay, so here this is positive. This is minus into minus. That is again positive. Okay, so the entire expression would be what? Always positive. Are you getting this logic, everyone? Okay, this is must. Okay. Yes. Fine. All right. Now coming to this one, P into Q can be 0 definitely, because P is a whole number. There is a 0 possibility here. So yes, definitely it can be 0. Okay. Now comes the major aspect, that is, what would you say about Q by P? Okay. Now for P being any other value, Okay, q is a negative integer. Clearly, we know it is a negative integer. Now, q is negative, whereas p could be a whole number. So, any values from 1, 2, 3, 4, any such numbers will give me what? A negative number itself. Okay, but at the same time, yes, here it is not p by q, Somashekar. It is q by p. Q is what? A negative integer. P is supposed to be the whole number. So here it would be what? Negative by 0. Are you getting this, Somashekar? Okay, it is not 0 by something, it is something by 0. Yes. So when you have something by 0, that is what? It is considered to be undefined. Okay. Most of the students commit this mistake, that is, they say it is minus something by 0. So here it might be minus infinity. Okay. It is not so. Please understand this aspect. Whenever you say anything divided by 0, we say it tends to infinity. We do not know its value. That is why we have mathematicians will directly say it is undefined. Okay. So here the statement says what? For all the values of P and Q, Q by P must be a negative number. It is not true because in one value you have what? It is going to be undefined. Okay. So must be becomes what? A wrong statement. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. Any such number divided by 0, it is undefined. It is not infinity. Okay, you may say when you have limit and functions and all, you might say it tends to infinity. Okay, but it is not an actual value. Is this clear, everyone? Why the fourth option is wrong? Fine. Pramada, I hope this is clear. Yes. Okay. Now, the same way, there might be another aspect also because we are discussing this. That is why we. What if an expression 0 by 0 comes across? You come across 0 by 0. This becomes what? Again, this is undefined itself. It's undefined. Okay. 0 by 0, again undefined. Any number by 0, undefined. Negative number by 0, again undefined. Okay. I hope this is very clear. Fine. All right. So if this concept is now clear, any doubt, anyone you can ask. Okay. If you are having any doubt, you can ask. If you do not have a doubt, we shall proceed to the next question. Okay. So the next question is, now we are going into the UPSC level pattern. Okay. So here you have three basic values, that is P, Q, and R. Okay. P is a prime number. We do not know its value. Q is supposed to be sum of five integers. Okay. R is supposed to be a composite number. So here you have three expressions given. P plus Q minus R can be 0. The second statement is P plus Q by R can be 0. The third statement is R by P plus Q can be 1. So here you have three such statements. Take your time, think it through, and tell me what would be the answer. Okay. Try solving this one. Okay, Vicky, 1 and 3. Okay. All three. Okay. Fine. 1, 2, 3. Fine. Raghavan, 1, 2, 3. Okay. What about Adira? All. Okay. So here, I think only one student said 1 and 3. Okay. So here, what is the logic here? You tell me. So 1 and 3, I think everyone says is correct. Okay. So we are not discussing this and this. Okay. If you want me to discuss, you can let me know. Okay. But this is one aspect that because most of the students, yeah, all have agreed 1, 2, 3. One student went for 1 and 3. Right? Okay. So here it says Q is -1, -2, -3, -4. Q. Yes. Okay. The first and the foremost thing is what? It is just said sum of five integers, right? It is not mentioning is it a positive integer, negative integer. It is not mentioning any such value. Right? So for this expression that is P plus Q by R can be 0. For this expression to be true, the only condition is what? If P plus Q by R has to be 0, that means what? The numerator part of this has to be 0. Right? That is P plus Q has to be 0. Yes. Uh, Voice issues there. Is my voice still not audible, everyone? I think Raghavan is facing issues. What about others? Okay. Okay. It was fluctuating. Okay. Fine. All right. So here, what is the concept here? The concept is P plus Q has to be 0. Raghavan, that is what we are discussing. Okay. That is, if this expression, this entire expression has to be 0, then the numerator part of it, P plus Q has to be 0. Or you can clearly see what? P has to be minus Q. Okay. So here, can we get such an expression here? Okay. So here P is what? Prime number, which will be positive. Okay. Similarly, here this is what? Q. Q is just a sum of five integers. Okay. It is not said that those numbers cannot be repetitive also. Okay. For example, if I take a prime number, let's say is 2. Here, I have to just ensure what? The sum of five integers is minus 2. Okay, so I can take 4 of such integers as what? 0, 0, 0, 0. And then finally, the next integer is what? The last integer is -2. I can do this also. I hope this is very clear. Okay, so unless and until it is mentioned that these 5, they are 5 positive integers, 5 negative integers, or 5, another keyword could be used as unique. Okay, unless and until unique keyword is not there, the integers can repeat itself. There is no such concern here. I hope this is clear, everyone. Fine. Yes. What about Adira? Is it clear, Adira? What we are discussing? Please note it down. Okay, somewhere the keyword unique. Okay, the keyword first. These things are important. Fine. All right. So if this is clear, now we are going towards UPSC pattern. Okay. So here you have another 2 statements given. Okay. The first statement says P is the product of all positive integers, then P can never be 0. Okay. Second statement says if Q is the sum of 10 integers, then Q can never be negative. Okay. So based on what you have learned, which statements do you think are correct here? D. Okay. 1, 1. Okay. We are getting 2 different answers. Okay. D. Okay. 1. Okay. B. Okay. What about Vicky? 1. Okay. So here we have got basically 3 different answers. That is, yes, we have got this, we have got this, and we have got D. Okay, so 3 different answers. Now, before understanding this aspect, first and the foremost, what you should understand here, it is said P is the product of all positive integers. Okay, so when we talk about positive integers, we talk about what? We start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Okay, what about 0? Is 0 a positive integer? Yes, exactly. That is, when we talk about 0, it is neither a positive integer nor a negative integer. Okay, so please understand, whenever we talk about the integers, okay, we talk about negative integers, we talk about 0 separately, and then we talk about positive integers. I hope this is very clear. Okay, this is concept. So please understand, when we talk about positive integers, we do not talk about 0. We start from 1 only. Okay, so now if you know this concept, what would be the statement? If P is the product of all positive integers, it can never be 0. That would be what? Correct statement. Is it clear? Somashekar, Raghavan, what we are doing? Okay, so it is a product. Okay, so that is just a concept that we should focus upon, right? Yes. Now Q is what? Q is nothing but sum of 10 integers it is given. Okay, and it is said Q can never be negative. Now here again, it is only said integers, sum of 10 integers. It is not mentioned consecutive. It is not mentioned you cannot take negative integers also. Okay, it can so happen that all the 10 integers that you take, they're all negative. Okay, so that also can happen. So this can never be negative. That will be what? A wrong statement. Is it clear, everyone? Okay, so Q is just sum of 10 integers. Okay, it could be, all could be negative integers. Okay, so their sum will again be negative. I hope this is clear, everyone. Okay, so here the answer would be what? One only. Fine. Any doubt, anyone till here? Any issue? I hope this is clear. Okay. All right. So if this is clear, now we go to the next aspect. Okay. So here you have again two such numbers. P is a prime number. Q is a whole number. Okay. P is a prime number. Q is a whole number. So do one thing. Only tell me what do you think about the third statement. Okay. First and second, I think you can easily solve. What do you think about the third statement? That is, Q by P will always be less than Q. Here P is a prime number and Q is a whole number. Tell me, what do you think? Try to solve it. Wrong. Okay, fine. Sure. True. Okay. So Mashekar, true. Oh, Shiranjani, you said the logic. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Wrong. It will be a wrong statement. Okay. Yeah, the reason is already Shivaranjani has mentioned here. That is, Q is a whole number. So here there could be possibility of 0 by a prime number. Okay, so this is 0. So this will be equal to what? Q itself. Q is 0. Okay, so that is the reason will be wrong. Okay. Now tell me one thing. If I change the question a bit, that is P is a prime number, Q is a natural number. Now what do you think about the third statement? P is a prime number, Q is a natural number. Now I'm saying Q by P will always be less than Q. What do you think about that statement? So, okay. What about Adira, Shivaranjani, Raghavan? True. Raghavan, did you get it? What we are discussing? That is, we are saying we have changed the question a bit. That is, P is a prime number and Q is now a natural number. Okay. Q is a natural number. So I'm saying, what do you think about Q by P, the third statement? That is, Q by P will always be less than Q. Okay, if it is not true, then tell me such values. Give me one such value of P and Q where that is negated. Okay, P is 13, fine. P is 13, fine. And what about Q? 13. Okay. So here Q by P is what? 1. This is always less than what? Q is what? 13. Are you getting this, Raghavan? Okay. So when we talk about whole number, the scenario changes. When we talk about natural numbers, the scenario changes. Okay. So always keep in mind the possibility of 0. Okay. That is the area where the examiner will also twist the facts. Fine. All right. So if this is clear, try another one. Okay. So here you have P is a prime number which is supposed to be greater than 2, and Q is supposed to be an integer. Okay, so here you have 4 such statements. Tell me which statements do you think are correct? Okay, 3 and 4, fine. Another. Ranjani, fine. Okay, Raghavan, fine. Somashekar, fine. Vicky, fine. What about Adira? 3, 4. Okay. So I think everyone got the answer here. The answer is 3 and 4. Okay, so that is the reason I'm not discussing this. Okay, these two are wrong statements. All of you have said 3 and 4 as the correct statements. Fine. Now here one more aspect is there. Whenever you have this kind of pattern also, right? You can put values there to get this if it to find out if it is an integer or not, or you can simplify it further also. That is, if it is given p plus q by q, you can decode this as what? P by q plus q by q, or it is p by q plus 1. Okay, that is, p is a prime number and q is supposed to be an integer. Okay, so can you find any such values where p would be equal to q? Okay, so definitely there would be possible values. Okay, so when there are values, that means what? Yes, definitely this would be an integer plus 1, again an integer itself. Okay, sometimes, okay, the reason for telling you this is sometimes there might be problem also when you are thinking about, it could be negative integers, it could be positive, it could be irrational numbers, it could be rational numbers. Okay, so we are not discussing all of that today, but when we are going, if at all in the future, in the coming classes, when we will be discussing rational as well as irrational numbers. Okay. In such areas, you might find difficulty in solving such problems. Okay. So one way to simplify it is what? Simplify the expression itself. Okay. So that way also you can arrive at the answer. Okay. Anyways, everyone, of you have got the correct answer, that is 3 and 4. All right. Okay. So if this is clear to you, now we are going to a bit tougher problems. Okay. So the simpler problems you have now understood. The basic part of it you have understood. How you can apply the application of the same. That is, if P is a prime number, Q is a composite number, what you should do. Right. Now we are saying we are giving you three variables, P, Q, R, and R. We are saying P is the product of three consecutive single digit prime numbers. Okay. So here there are three consecutive, they have to be single digit and they have to be prime numbers also. Okay. Similarly, Q is sum of three consecutive single digit prime numbers. And R is basically the sum of P plus Q. Okay. Now, based on it, three statements have been given. You tell me which statements do you think are correct here? Okay, Samashikar, 131 all. Okay, again we are getting different answers. Okay. All. Okay. One and three. Okay. Okay, so we are getting different answers, one and three and all. Okay. Raghavan, it is sum of, actually, okay, see here. It is sum of P plus Q. Okay. It's supposed to be in brackets. That is addition of P plus Q. Raghavan. Okay. Okay, one. All right. So we have got one, we have got one and three, we have got all. Okay. So first and the foremost thing, what about Adira? What do you think? All. Okay. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे देखो, see here. Okay. It is saying P is product of three consecutive single digit prime numbers, right? So what are those prime numbers? It has to be consecutive, it has to be single digit, and it has to be prime numbers also. Yeah, that is, you have 2, 3, 5, and 7. Everyone agrees with it, right? But here you have to choose 3, right? Which one will you choose here? It could be 235 or 357. Yes, two possibilities are there. So yes, you have to choose, take both values. Okay, P can have both values. Okay, so here what is the first value here? 235. Multiplication of 235 is 30. Okay, what is the second value of P that is there? 105. Fine. Okay, now what about Q? Q is nothing but sum of the three consecutive single digit prime numbers, right? So when you add it up, this is 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, or 15. Q is 10 or 15. Yes. See, Raghavan, here, because they are three consecutive single digit prime numbers, right? So the expression could be what? 235, because they have to be consecutive also, or it could be 357. Yes. So here P is nothing but the product of these three consecutive single digit prime numbers. So here it is 15 into 2, that is 30. One possible value of P is 30. Okay. Similarly, here what is happening? Another possible value is the multiplication of 3 into 5 into 7. Okay. Which will give us what? 105. Are you getting this, Raghavan? Okay. So there are two possible values of P here. Okay, either this or this. Okay, both of them satisfies this condition. Similarly, Q also, Q can be the summation of 2, 3, 5, or it can be the summation of 3, 5, and 7. So again, when you add them up, it will be 10 or 15. The values could be 10 or 15. Okay. Now what is R? R is nothing but sum of P plus Q. Okay. So here, what are the possibilities here? Yeah, is it only 40 and 120? What are the possible values of R? Exactly, here it could be 45 and 115 also. Okay, do not just add up 30 and 10 and 105 and 15. Okay, here P can have two values, 30 and 105. Q can have also two values, 10 and 15. So R will have what? Four such values. That is, if P is 30, Q can be what? 10, or Q can be 15. Okay. So in such a scenario, what will happen? P plus Q, that is R is 40, or it is P plus Q, that is 30 plus 15, that is 45. Are you getting this, everyone? What about Adira? Are you getting this? That is, the possible values of R is 40, 45, 115, or 120. Okay. Now see the expression that has been given. It is saying P plus Q can be a three-digit number. Is that possible? Definitely. P can have one of the possible values is 105. If you add that up, with Q, Q is what? 10. So it is what? 115. It can be a three-digit number. No problem there. Okay. P minus R must always be negative. Now, what about this one? Based on the values, what are you getting here? P minus R must always be negative. What are you getting? P minus R. You can take any value. Yes, that is, if your P is 105 and your R is 40, okay, definitely it could be what? It is positive. So must always be is what? Wrong here. Because you can have values of P and R here. Is this clear, everyone? This is an important concept that you have to understand. Now, please, there might be students who might use this expression to arrive at the answer. That is, R is what? P plus Q. Okay. So here P minus R would be what? If I take this expression here and Q here, this becomes what? Minus Q, P minus R. So P minus R is minus of Q. And again, Q is always positive. So here it should be negative. This might be the logic used by some students. Yes, exactly. See, Pramada, if P is 105, it is not necessary that R has to be 115 or 120. That is the point. Because, see here, it is not mentioning that if I take this as 235, here also I should take it as 235. Are you getting this logic? That is, it can so happen that P is the product of 2, 3, and 5, whereas Q is the sum of 3, 5, and 7. Because it is only given, they have to be consecutive, single digit, and prime numbers. Yes. Yeah, you can speak, Prabha. No, I have. Yeah, you can do so.
Sir,
Yeah.
if P I take it as third 105, right?
Yeah.
Q can either be 10 or 15.
If you take P as 105, okay.
Yes. Q
Okay.
can either be 10 or 15.
10 or 15, yeah, fine.
Right? Then what is R?
R could be what? R could be 115.
5
It could be
or 120,
120.
right?
Yes.
So
But
then P
here,
minus,
acha, वैसे, okay, 1 second. P could be 105, then R
you
would.
cannot change the
One second, one
value
second, one second. 1 second.
of P when you're adding, when you're trying to get R,
Okay,
right?
yes. Your logic is correct here. Okay. Yes, exactly. Your logic is correct. That is something that we have to decide. Okay. See here, what Pramada has pointed out is actually very correct. That is, when your value of P is fixed, yes, P is fixed, Q could be single digit prime numbers. Yes. 1 second, let me think. P could be either what two values are there, right? It could be 30 or 105. Yeah, you're correct. Okay. Yeah, the logic is clear here, correct here of Pramada. That is, yes, P's value is 30 or 105. Okay. Now here Q would have what? The value would be 10 or 15 here. Similarly, Q would have value here as 10 or 15. Okay. So here the R value is fixed actually. Yes, that is correct. Okay. That is P plus Q would be here. It would be 40. Here it would be 45. Similarly, for this scenario, R would be what? 115 and 120. Yes, correct. Okay. I hope this is clear, everyone. The logic that Pramada has given is correct. That is, when you have P fixed, the value of P is fixed, then R is also determined by that value of P. Okay, they are not individual values here. Shivaranjani, I hope this is clear. Okay, I also got mistaken there. I think this is clear. No? What about others? Fine. Okay. So here lies in the most important aspect of today, that is, even I could go wrong. Fine. All right. So here, if you do find such logic, okay, if you find yes, there is something that is being mistaken, okay, because these are all questions that I create, okay. So when I create such questions, I use some logic. There might be scenarios where I'm not thinking, okay, this logic would also apply, okay. So if at all such logics you do find in class, if you find, okay, there might be a new way of thinking, you can directly challenge, okay. Yeah, so here currently what Pramada has mentioned is correct, okay. So here that is a correct logic, okay. So yes, definitely this aspect is wrong then. And this one I think is positive here. Fine. So R minus Q, I think everyone went with this. So here the answer is 1 and 3. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. The logic, everything is clear. My logic was wrong here. Yes. Okay. All. Okay. Acha, yeah. Okay, fine. Sorry. This one is correct, right? Must always be negative. So yes, all. Fine. Okay. So here, if this aspect is clear, everyone, I hope there is no doubt the logic here. Okay, I got confused here. So that is the reason. I hope the concept is clear. Yes, now if that aspect is clear, try another question now. Okay, here you have, again, three variables are given. P is basically division of two prime numbers. Q is product of two composite numbers, and R is sum of two whole numbers. Okay, so three variables are given, three statements have been given. Now, based on it, tell me which statements do you think are correct? Tell me which statements do you think are correct here? Anyway, is there a case of prime number? It can be. It's just given it as division of two prime numbers. That's all. Okay. Uh, do not go for decimal. Okay. It's always keep it in fraction. That would be easier for calculation also, Raghavan. Okay. That is always easier for calculation. Either are all fine. Pramada all fine. Shivranjani fine. Vicky all. Fine. What about Raghavan? Somashekar? Not getting. Okay. Which one are you not getting, Raghavan? The first or the second or the third statement? First. Okay. Yeah. So let Somashekar also do, and then we'll discuss. Okay. You only have to ensure that the multiplication of P into Q into R can be an integer. One and two you are getting, Somashekar. Okay. All right. So let us see here. First, it is saying P is division of two prime numbers, right? So two prime numbers you take 2 and 3. Okay, it is division of two prime numbers. Then this is P. Now Q is what? Q is basically product of two composite numbers, right? So here you have to just choose such a composite number which is divisible or which is a multiple of 3, right? So a composite number here is 9. One composite number. Rest is you can take anything 4, let's say. Okay. And what is R? R is nothing but sum of two whole numbers. Okay. So any two whole numbers you take, 1 plus 2. Okay. So what will happen here? 3 threes are 9. That is 3 twos are 6. 24 is there into 3. That is that clear, Raghavan? Okay. So you only have to choose such a composite number that can easily divide the fraction part, the denominator part. Okay. Now, Somashekar, you are saying 1 and 2. So this you got, this you got. What about this one? Q by P into R can be 1. This is what is given. Okay. Now, what is Q? Q is supposed to be product of two composite numbers. Okay. So take composite numbers 4, 6. Okay. Now, what is P? P is nothing but the division of two prime numbers. Take 2 by 3 here. Okay. And R is nothing but sum of two whole numbers. Okay. So take any whole number here. What could be? Take it as W1 plus W2 itself. Okay. ऐसे रखो. 3 goes up. So here this is what? 3 goes up here. So it is 3 into 4 into 6 by 2. Okay. This is 2 into whole number. 1 plus 2. Okay, so here it is 2. So here you can directly 6. That is 6, 6 is 36 by. You have to choose any such number. W1 plus W2 would be what? Any such number which can divide 36. Okay, so take anything 0 and 6. Okay, so here it will be. Oh, sorry, it has to be 1, right? So take here, denominator should be 36. So take it as 1 and 35. So it can be 1. Are you getting this, Somashekar? What I have done is I'm taking whole numbers so that I can divide the numerator. That's all. I just have to show one case where it can be 1. That's all. Okay. All right. So if this is clear to you, now try another question. Now this one is a good question. Take your time, think it through. Okay. Take your time, think it through, and then tell me the answer. Okay. So again, 3 different variables, all are products. Okay, P is product of all prime numbers, Q is product of all natural numbers, and R is product of all composite numbers. Yes, Vicky, you can take in the previous question. P is just given as division of two prime numbers, so you can take it as similar prime numbers also. No problem there. Unless and until the keyword unique is mentioned or distinct is mentioned. Okay, both this. Unless these two keywords are mentioned, you can take them as equal also. No problem. All right, so try solving this one. Only two statements are given. Which statements do you think is correct? Okay, Pramada says both. Okay, fine. Okay, Raghavan 2 only. Fine. Shivaranjani neither. Okay. How can we consider values? Yeah, it will not be easier if you try to solve such a question. So you will have to break it up. Okay, so we'll see. If you just put values and try to solve it, it will not be that easy. Yeah. What about others? Till now we have got three answers. All three are different. Both, two only, neither. Okay. Neither. Okay. Vicky also is going with neither. Fine. What about Raghavan? Adira? Not getting. ठीक है कोई इशू नहीं है. Two only. Okay. Fine. So let us see here. What do we mean by this? Okay. How to solve such questions? It is important. You need to see. So see, P is given. It's considered to be product of all prime numbers. Okay. So all the prime numbers that are there, that is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Okay. So like so forth. Right. Now Q is considered to be product of all natural numbers. So that means what? It is simply multiplication of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. So 9, 10, like that. Fine. Now what is R? R is nothing but product of all composite numbers. That is 4, 6, 9, 12, 14. Like this, it is multiplication. Okay. Now it is given P into Q by R. Okay. This is equal to P square. Now see here, P is nothing but what? A product of all this. Okay. Q is nothing but a product of all this. Now, can I simplify this? That is the point here. Okay. Now, what is R? R is basically 4 into 6 into 9 into 12 into 14, like this. Okay. So here, if I see, R is nothing but what? 4 into 6 into 9 into 10. Okay, here there will be 10 also. Yeah, there will be 10 also. Into 10 into 12, like this. Okay. So here, apart from this, if I take this, what are the remaining numbers that I get? Can I simplify this? This is Q. Okay. This is nothing but Q. Can I simplify this as 1 into all prime numbers, multiplication of prime numbers, that is 2 into 3 into 5, 7. Okay. 2 into 3 into 5 into 7 into 11, like this. Okay. Into all the composite numbers that are there. That is 4 into 6 into 8 into 9 into 10 into 12, like this. Can I write it like this? Everyone? Raghavan, Adira, Somashekhar. Can I simply bifurcate this product of all natural numbers into this format? Yes. Okay. That means what? This is nothing but 1 into multiplication of all prime numbers into, this is nothing but what? Multiplication. I'm taking M as multiplication, okay, of all composite numbers. Okay. So here, this is nothing but P is nothing but what? It is a product of all prime numbers or multiplication of all prime numbers. Similarly, this is nothing but what? Multiplication of all composite numbers. Now see here, what do you get? P is nothing but multiplication of all prime numbers. So write it as MP. Okay. Q is nothing but 1 into multiplication of all prime numbers into multiplication of all composite numbers. Okay. Divided by what? R is nothing but what? Multiplication of composite numbers. So here this and this will cancel each other out because it is simple multiplication. Or this is multiplication square. Or P, this is basically what? MP is nothing but the product of all prime numbers. P and MP is the same. So here this is equal to what? P square. Is this clear to everyone? What we have done? This question I created. So please, if you have understood this, please let me know. Is it clear? Any doubt? Anyone? Vicky, is it clear? Adira, Raghavan. See, Raghavan, MP is nothing but, I'm simplifying this, okay? MP is multiplication of all prime numbers, that is 2 into 3 into 5 into 7. Instead of writing all of this, I'm writing it as MP, that's all. MC is multiplication of all composite numbers, okay? That is 4 into 6 into 8 into 10 into 12, like that. Okay, so I'm just simplifying it, that's all. Okay, is it clear, Raghavan? 1 into 2 into 3. This one you are talking about? This part? Yes. Okay, so let me see here. See, Q is what? Q is basically product of all natural numbers, right? What does that mean? Product of all natural numbers. It means it is nothing but 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 into 7 into 8 into 9 into 10, right? And so forth. Okay. So here, see, what is a natural number? First, let us see what is a natural number. Natural number is nothing but all such numbers that starts with 1. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. Yes. Or can I also write this as natural number is nothing but 1 plus, okay, 1 is there, and then all the prime numbers that are there and all the composite numbers are there. It is just 1 plus prime numbers plus composite numbers. Can I say like this? That is, if a number is a composite number, it cannot be a prime number. Right. Similarly, if a number is a prime number, let's say it is 3, it cannot be a composite number. Right. Raghavan. Right. So natural numbers is just the summation of what? It's just values, that is 1 plus its prime numbers, all the prime numbers that are there and all composite numbers that are there. The same logic I've applied here. Okay. So 1 I have separated, and here then this is what? 2 into 3. Okay. And then I'm taking 5. Then I'm taking 7. Okay. These are all what? All the prime numbers that are there. Okay. Multiplied by what? Again, composite numbers that are left. That is 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and so forth. That is what? Composite. This aspect I have shown it as what? The multiplication of all prime numbers I have shown it as MP. The multiplication of all composite numbers I have shown as MC. That's all. Is it clear, Raghavan? Here it is, no, these are all not plus, actually it's not plus. These are unique values, all the values that are there. Okay, it's not actual addition. Okay, because natural numbers is, this is basically set. That is why I've written it as set itself. Okay. That is, it's not plus, it is combination of all three. Yeah. Fine. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, what about the second part? Second part of this question. This is something that you should focus upon. It says P is product of all prime numbers. That is what? Product of all prime numbers is nothing but MP. We have already seen. Okay. R is nothing but product of all composite numbers. That is all composite numbers. MC. Divided by Q. Q is what? Nothing but the product of what? 1 into multiplication of all prime numbers, multiplication of all composite numbers. Yes, exactly. This is what it is there. Right. I'm talking about this expression. Can you simplify it like this, everyone? That is the product of, yes, and this, right? Now you tell me, what will be the value of this? The value of this will be 1. Exactly. Okay. But here, what is the statement saying? P into R by Q can be 1. Will this be can be or will this be must be? We learned about possibility. We learned about definite statements. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. Here, the expression P into R by Q will always be 1. It is not can be. It must be 1. Therefore, this statement is what? Wrong. Are you getting this, everyone? Vicky got it. What about others? Raghavan got it. Adira got it. What about Shivranjani? Somashekar got it. Pramada, I hope this is clear. Fine. All right. So this is the reason this first statement is right. Second is wrong. Okay. All right. Now let us discuss one more question that I created. This one. Okay. This one is directly given. P is nothing but y to the power of x. Okay. Now we are talking about powers now. Okay. Now what is x? X is nothing but product of all prime numbers. Okay. And what is y? Y is nothing but a single digit composite number. Okay. So you have to find out, there are statements given, that is P, three statements are given. P can be odd, P can be even, P can be zero. Okay. So you have to find out which of these statements are correct. Okay. So try solving this one. One and two. Okay, fine. Okay, so Shikhar is saying one. Okay. One and two, Vicky Bharti, fine. Shivaranjani, one and two. Okay. Adira, one and two. Okay. Raghavan, one and two. Okay. So see here, again, when we are talking about a single digit composite number, what could be the possible values of y here? When we are talking about single digit composite number, yes, it could be 4, 6, 8, 9, any of these values, it could be there. Exactly. Okay, these are all composite numbers, right? Now here it is saying, so your value of y is fixed. Okay, it could be, p could be 4 to the power x, or it could be 6 to the power x, 8 to the power x, or 9 to the power x. Okay. Now what is x? X is nothing but product of all prime numbers. So x is nothing but product of all prime numbers. So what is the product of all prime numbers? Product of all prime numbers is odd. No, Raghavan. It is 2 into 3 into 5 into 7, right? Okay. So here what you have is basically multiplication of what? All of this will be odd. Whereas this is 2 into odd, that is even. Okay. So when we are talking about product of all prime numbers, okay, which includes 2, then we have what? It's an even number. Simple. Yes. Okay. So when it's an even number, that means what? We are focusing on what? P is equal to 4 to the power something even. Okay, we do not know what this value is, but something even. Similarly, 6 to the power something even, 8 to the power something even, 9 to the power something even. Okay, so here, so everyone has said 2 as the option, I think. Everyone said, sorry, 1 as the option. Okay, one is there in everyone's answer. What about 2? So when we consider the cyclicity of 4, what do we get? See here, cyclicity is another term that we will discuss in the coming classes. That is, 4 is there, 4 to the power 1 is what? 4. 4 to the power 2 is what? 16. 4 to the power 3 is 64. 4 to the power 4. Okay, so that is again 256. That means what do you observe here? That is when 4 to the power odd is there, that is 1 is there or 3 is there, the digit in the units place is what? 4 here. Okay, so when 4 to the power odd is there, the digit in the units place is 4, which is even. Okay, similarly, when 4 to the power even is there, what do we observe? The digit is 6. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay, so 4 to the even power, any even power, it can be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It could be even 4 to the power 200. Okay, so what will happen here? The digit in the units place will be what? 6 only. Is this clear to everyone? We will discuss this in detail, okay, in the coming classes when we talk about the power of units. We will discuss this. Okay, but right now is the concept clear? That is 4 to the power even will give you what? The digit in units place will be 6, or it will be p can be what? 6. P is even. Is it clear, Somashekar, what we have discussed? I think you have already said 1. That is the reason I have not discussed that part. But the second one, I think you can understand. Yes. All right. So if you have understood all these questions, statement. So right now we have not discussed one more aspect, that is of statement based questions. This aspect we have not discussed. Okay. So this we will discuss in the next class. That is, you have two statements given, statement 1, statement 2 is given, and a question is asked. Okay, and you have to say statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question, statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer, or both statements are required, or neither statements will answer my question. Okay, so this kind of pattern can also be asked for the topic that we have just discussed, prime number and composite number, natural number, that also can be asked. Okay, but based on the topic that we have discussed till now, based on the content that we have discussed till now, I now want you to solve the UPSC questions that have been asked in similar manner. Okay, so let us see the first UPSC question that has been asked here. So this is a previous year question asked in your recent paper 2023. Okay, so here you have, consider the following in respect of prime number and composite number C. Okay, so 3 conditions have been given. You have to find out which of the statements given above are correct. Okay, so 3 statements are given here. P is considered to be a prime number. C is supposed to be the composite number. Okay, so try solving this UPSC question. Okay, Somashekar fine. All Shiranjani fine. Pramada fine. Adira fine. Okay. What about Vicky? What about Raghavan? Vicky, all okay. What about Raghavan? 1 and 2 wrong. Okay. All right. So let us see if you that means third statement you are getting it as right. Yes. Okay. So what about this one? That is 2 into a prime number plus a composite number can be odd, right? So here take a prime number 2. Okay. So that is 4 and you have to have odd. So take a composite number 9. This is what? 4 plus 9 is 13, which is odd. Okay, so here the prime number I've taken is 2, composite is 9. Okay, do not mistake this aspect that is composite numbers are even numbers. Okay, it can be odd also. Okay, so that is one logic that you have to keep in mind. Now, what about this one? The students have said all. Give me some value of P and C where this is satisfied. P plus C by P minus C. Give me value of P and C. 5 and 4. नहीं 5 and 4 में कहाँ से होगा 5 plus 4 is 9 5 minus 4 is 1 9 is not even okay 2 4 okay 2 4 2 and 4 is there yeah so this is 2 plus 4 6 okay and here it is 2 minus 4 okay so that is 6 by minus 2 that is minus 3 right again not even 9 and 3 acha 9 and 3 fine okay that is 9 and 3 if you take that is prime number plus composite number divided by what prime number is 3 composite number is 9 that is 12 by minus of 6 that is minus 2 so yes it is an even number okay I hope this is clear everyone Raghav why the first statement is correct yeah minus 2 is negative so इट्स इवन देखो इवन नंबर्स बोलने से -4 -2 ओके 2 4 ऑल ऑफ देम आर इवन नंबर्स ओके नेगेटिव साइन का इशू नहीं है दिस इज एन इवन नंबर फाइन okay so if this is clear so I think most of you have been able to solve the 2023 question so if you have been able to solve this now try another UPSC question Again, this one asked in UPSC 2022. Okay, so here P is a prime number, Q is a composite number, and you have been given three expressions. That is, P into Q can be odd, Q by P can be prime, P plus Q can be prime. Okay, now out of these three statements, which of the above statements are correct? So try this one. Somashekar, fine. Ramada, fine. Shivaranjani, fine. Adira, fine. All. Okay. Vicky Bharti, all. Raghavan, all. Okay. So I think student. Okay. So here you have, yes, when you look into it, definitely all the three statements are correct. So the answer is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So everyone got the answer. All right. So if you have done this, try another UPSC question. Okay. Asked in 2021. So here you have two statements given. Based on the two statements given, you have to find out which statements are correct. Okay. So the first statement says the sum of five consecutive integers can be 100. The second says the product of three consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. So which of these statements do you think are correct? These are correct. Both. Okay. Ramada, both. Okay, fine. Okay, Raghavan, fine. Adira, fine. Okay. Vicky, what about Somashekar? both. Okay, so here you can clearly see the answer would be both. Okay, so see here, whenever 5 consecutive integers are there and it can be 100 is there, you can take it in X format also. Okay, that is 5 consecutive integers. If I'm taking the first integer as X, the next consecutive integer would be what? X plus 1, X plus 2. No, consecutive I'm talking. Okay, sure, Anjani. X plus 3, X plus 4. We are talking about only integers. If it is an even integer, then if it is X, the next consecutive even integer would be X plus 2. Are you getting this? Sure, Anjani? Okay. यदि normal integer है, तो consecutive would be in this format. If it is even or odd, it would be in this format. ठीक है? अब एक pattern, अब I told you in the first slide, there is something known as pattern. Yes, you can solve with this X then, Raghavan. Okay. इसमें simply what you do is you add it up. अच्छा, can you do? Okay, I'll do. See, it is on. See here, this is nothing but what? X, then X plus 1, X plus 2, X plus 3, X plus 4. Right? Now it is saying the sum of all these 5 integers can be what? 100. So here you have how many X? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5X is there plus, now you just add it up. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10. This is equal to what? 100. Or it is 5x is equal to 90, x is equal to what? 18. Okay. Now, once you have x is equal to 18, that means what? What are those 5 consecutive integers? X is 18. The next integer is x plus 1, that is 19. The next one is x plus 2, that is 20. The next one is 21, next one is 22. Is this clear, Raghavan? Okay. Okay. Now here, what I was talking to you about is regarding pattern recognition. See here, in the first slide I told you pattern recognition. Okay. Now see the question, the statement that has been given here. The product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. This is what is given here, the second statement. And this is what? This is a 2021 question, the previous one is a 2021 question. Okay, that is product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Now see, the very next year the question is what? The sum of 3 consecutive integers is equal to their product. This is what? Exactly the same statement. Okay, now here the only change brought forth is what? How many such numbers are possible? So that is the reason you need to check, not just solve PYQs, but see the pattern also. Is it clear? Okay. So here in 2021, if you just solve this question based on certain numbers, let's say 1, 2, and 3, you said, 1, 2, and 3, and you solved. Yes, the product of this is equal to sum also, right? That is 1 into 2 into 3 is 6. And their sum is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 is again 6. Okay. But here, that may not suffice, because here, if you see the next year's question, it is talking about how many possibilities are there where this condition is valid. Okay. So, ek bar, you try this one first and then we will discuss. Okay. You try this one. That is, you have to find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is equal to their product. Okay. So, Pramada has given 1, 2, 3 as one of the pattern. The next one is -1, -2, -3 also can be a pattern, right? Because if its sum is minus 6, and its product is again minus 6. Now, is there any other possibility here? Where the sum of three consecutive integers is equal to their product. Yes, there is one more, minus 1, 0. Okay, here also if you see, the sum of these three is 0. The product of these three is again 0. Okay, but the problem lies is you may not be able to recognize this aspect in the exam. Okay, so how do you solve such a question? You take or you use the basic formula itself. Okay, that is three consecutive integers means what? Take it as, yes, n minus 1, n plus 1, or simplify x plus 1, x plus 1, x plus 2. Simplify this. Okay, these are three consecutive integers. Okay, the sum of three consecutive integers means what? The sum x plus 1 plus x plus x plus x plus 2. Now it is saying this is equal to their product. Their product is what? How much is their product? Product is simply x into x plus 1 into x plus 2. Okay, so when you solve for this, you will get three unique values of x. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay, so you'll get three unique values of x, and then you can find out ki acha ye hai, ye hai, ye hai. Otherwise, this clear. Raghavan got it. Pramada got it. What about Shivranjani, Vicky? Okay. Always you have to simplify it also further. Okay. And you'll get the answer. So here the answer is three such possibilities are there. Fine. All right. So what we have done today is basically simple statement questions. Okay. Certain statements have been given. Based on it, we are trying to find out if those statements are correct or not. We have also seen the recent UPSC questions that have been asked. That is 2023, 2022, 2021 questions that have been asked from this topic. Okay. But there are other topics also, right? I have told you statement-based questions we will cover in the next class. Okay. Now for homework, I have given three questions here. Okay. Three simple questions I have given. Just try to solve them. Okay. You should not face any difficulty in solving these questions. You just try to solve them and try to do it at your home. Okay. Now certain concepts we have learned. We have learned about even into even. We have learned about keywords, unique, distinct. Okay. We have learned about the difference between can be, must be. Okay. So these things you have to mention in your notes. That is logic notes. You will understand everything right now in class, but once you see this after 10 days, you might not understand. That is the reason the concept of the same you have to mention in your separate notebook. Fine. All right. So with that, we end the class for today. Okay. If you have any doubt, that person can stay back. The next class for you will be held on Friday. Okay. The timing is the same. That is 7 p.m. Okay. So if you have any doubts, anything, you can contact me here. My Telegram number is here. Yeah, enroll you have done. And this is the Telegram link. Okay. So any student who has a doubt, they can stay back. The rest of you can leave. Okay. The class is over. Fine.
Sir, can you repeat the first two slides? I missed it.
Yeah, sure. The first two slides. No, the first two slides were this regarding ground rules and all. Okay. I think this one, did you attend?
Yeah. I attended that. The first two slides, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
No,
as
this
such.
is just regarding The only thing you have to remember here is you have to write the test on time. Otherwise, you will not be
Hmm.
allowed in test discussion class. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Anything else? Anyone? Any doubt? If there is any doubt, you can stay back. The rest of you can leave. Okay. The class is over for today.